My name Manjinder Singh. So today is a peaceful protest against Indian diplomat. This involve Hardeep Nijjar assassination. So today is coming this temple when this Mr. Trudeau 18 September this is Parliament floor to ask this Indian agent involved this assassination Canadian citizen and Canadian soul. After this is a Canadian state to side stop immediately Canadian visa. So right now this is a before is asked, oh no, this is a Canada is not safe, so my diplomat is not safe and I cancel this visa process. Right now this is visiting this my Sikh temple and mandir. So right now is not a threat. So this is a fake news Indian and fake propaganda.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am today's peaceful protest. I am Canadian citizen. So this first my job and duty. So this Canadian sovereignty is protect. So I am protect this Canadian citizen. All this protect. I love you Canada. I love you every Canadian citizen.
Okay. What are you doing here today?
I'm here to protest against Indian diplomat who is the Canadian government accused in the parliament that the Indian agent is behind Canadian citizen Hardeep Nijjar. So as a Canadian, we all should hands together in the parliament, all the parties hands together against the people who is doing a terrorism here in Canadian soil, killing Canadian citizen. So we are protesting against the Indian diplomat who is hosting the live whatever the campaign they're doing inside, but they're also propagating against Canadian government to cripple the Canadian government in the Canadian soil. So this is called espionage, political espionage. So they are doing a propaganda against Canada. So we should all stand for Canada.
What kind of terrorism? Who is committing terrorism?
Yeah, the terrorist is the innocent guy, Canadian Hardeep Nijjar, the Sikh leader here in Canada. He's a Canadian citizen. He was advocating for peaceful Khalistan referendum, but he was shot by Indian agents. It is only openly now, with, like you can see, Five Eyes, the 5 countries all together says stand with Canada. But who is running from investigation is Indian government. So this is a protest against the Indian diplomat, Indian official. We are not against any region or any the mandir, the temple people. We are against the Indian diplomat who is inside. We are asking question to the temple that why they are hosting the killers of Shaheed Nijjar.
But why is it happening in front of Indian place of worship, in front of Indian Hindu temple?
We are doing the protest everywhere, wherever they are going. The Indian diplomats are going because they are saying to the news channel that they are not feeling safe in Canada. The Indian diplomat Sanjay Kumar Verma, he is saying that he is not feeling safe in Canada while he is doing campaign in the place of worship. Like why he is doing opening like a place of worship, and his other hand the hypocrite like propaganda against Canada that the Indian diplomat are not safe. If he is not safe, how come he is openly coming here? So that's a false propaganda against Canada. So we are exposing their propaganda too.
So did I understand correctly? You standing against Indian government, right?
Yeah, correct.
How do you think now this conflict is so huge, and is there going to be a war between Canada and India?
Yes, because they are not, like yesterday I heard the CTV news, there was an interview with Sanjay Kumar Verma, the High Commissioner of India, that they are not cooperating with Canada investigation. So they are running away the investigation. So we stand with the investigation, Canadian justice system. We have a fully faith in our law enforcement that stand for justice, that stand for democratic freedom of speech and freedom of expression that was expressed by Nijjar. So we stand for them. Indian government is running away the investigation because they are the one who killed Shaheed Nijjar.
I request for Canadian government, so this you take case in UNO and India against ascension and this boycott Indian. So this is right now. This is SFJ. This give the call. Air India. This is India. Air India is not safe. 1985. This Indian government involved in Khanaskan, in Vancouver and Ottawa. Consulate this runway. This right now. This has been accident. So this is a plan. So this all time is Sikh community's target.
Okay, so may I ask if Jagmeet Singh supports the protest in front of Hindu temple?
Jagmeet Singh is मुजाहिरे दी support कर रहे हैं. So Mr. Singh doesn't know if Mr. Jagmeet Singh supports this or not, but he feels that every Canadian should support the Sikh community, as this was an attack on Canadians, on Canadian soil, on every Canadian. It's like how Hamas attacked Israel. That's how Mr. Singh feels that this is a very, very serious attack on our sovereignty, on our soil, and every Canadian and party leader should stand with us.
Are you protest only against the Indian government, or do you plan to protest for Sikhs in Afghanistan and Pakistan too?
Yes, so Mr. Singh states that he and Sikhs stand up for human rights all around the world and justice, but the priority right now is Canada and Canadian citizens because Mr. Singh lives here. Our citizen was killed on Canadian soil, so this is a priority matter, and afterwards they will look at other places as well, but first priority is Canada because India killed a citizen here, and Mr. Singh lives in Canada. My friend here would also like to say something.
Yes.
So I want to ask that we are standing for Canada here, like we are standing against the Indian diplomat, but the other people, I want to ask like why they are protesting for, like why they are protesting.
They're being threatened.
Okay, threatened by who?
As I mentioned to you before, in Australia, where law enforcement looked into this matter, they discovered that Australian Hindus themselves had vandalized the mandir. So law enforcement is looking into the matter. We cannot make any statement that Sikhs vandalized or someone did. That is a wrong statement to make, okay? So you're saying that they're standing here because you're saying it was vandalized, but like I said to you before, justice system in Australia held Hindus responsible for vandalizing their own mandir, own religious institution.
So you think this is just a propaganda and they vandalize their temples by themselves?
We will let law enforcement speak on that and you can follow up with them. All I can tell you at the moment is until any investigation is complete, we cannot make any such comments.
What are you gonna say about this video that was posted where this guy from Khalistani group were threatening Hindus?
So Mr. Panuun, who is a New York lawyer, admitted to the bar in good standing, a dual citizen of Canada and America. He said he did not say this to all Hindus. In fact, Khalistanis, they respect all religions and people of all backgrounds. He said Indo Hindus, Hindus living in Canada who are loyal to the Indian Constitution as opposed to the Canadian Constitution and Canadian justice system. Not all Hindus, Indo Hindus, Hindus who are loyal to the corrupt justice system or lack of justice in India.
He says the Hindus who stand against Canada and loyal to the Indian government. So he says that. So any loyal, any patriotic Canadian will say same thing to any other nation too, who stands against Canada, living in Canada, enjoying all the facilities and privileges of Canadian citizen, but loyal to other countries. So they should leave the Canada. I am stand with that video. Yeah, I stand with that.
Can I ask you what does your sign mean? Because there is a Prime Minister of India, Modi, and he's wanted. What does it mean? Why?
So they are the enemies of Canada. Basically, they are doing a espionage in Canadian, their infiltration in the Canadian politics, justice system. They're harming the justice system. So they're killing basically Sikhs in Canadian soil, the Canadian citizen. Just recently, the U.S. lawyer, Sikh leader Gurpatwant Singh Panuun was like the U.S. government failed their plot. So we are against the government. The Indian government is running by Modi right now. So we are against the Prime Minister Modi. That's why there's a pictures of Prime Minister Modi, Jai Shankar, and Sanjay Kumar Verma, the High Commissioner of Canada.
It's simply stating what Prime Minister Trudeau said, what the US government is saying, what Five Eyes intelligence is saying, is that India is responsible for the assassination of Shahid Nijjar and for threatening a New York lawyer, a Canadian US citizen who is peacefully voicing his opinion. When it's saying wanted, they're saying these people, as Prime Minister Trudeau, as the US government, as governments around the world have stated, that these people are wanted for the murder of Shahid Nijjar.
We still haven't seen any
Yeah,
proof.
but our government elects them in the Canadian Parliament. That's a big thing. No government in the history said that in their parliament. If they have a solid proof, they have a solid evidence. And even that evidence was backed by a US government too. Even the White House, the state government of United States, they back that strong. They have the strong link that Indian agent killing Hardeep Nijjar. This is a political protest. This is not any against any religion.
Furthermore, in the US, a lawsuit was filed in New York. That is based on proof. A grand jury found people involved in the attempted assassination of Mr. Gurpatwant Singh Panuun. Okay, so they actually filed, they have charges, they have a sealed indictment against the person or persons responsible for trying to assassinate Mr. Panuun. So therefore, the rule of law in the US, like you're saying, if there's any proof or not, this is the proof that a seal, an indictment which is filed after a grand jury finds that a person should be charged, should be indicted. That's pretty serious. There is proof behind that.
So Khalistani leader Panuun told Canadian Hindus to go back to India. Do you support his views?
He is saying Indo Canadian Hindus. So this is misquoted. So we have to listen his video again. I will say to the media, they have to listen the video again. So his video was the people who live in Canada but loyal to Indian government and stand against Justin Trudeau, stand against Canadian justice system. So that's people should leave Canada. Yes, I stand by that.
It's people, Indo Hindus, whose first loyalty is towards India, not Canada. So working against the interests of Canada and other obviously Canada, yes, against the Canadian interests, against what our Prime Minister has said, and against the system of justice that allows these countries to secure its citizens, to stand up for them. Mr. Singh is suggesting to you that maybe also speak with the individuals standing on the other side and ask them, are they standing with India or are they standing with Canada?
Are you standing with India or with Canada?
Canada.
100%.
Canadian flag.
First priority Canada, and I'm citizen. Proudly I'm Canadian. I love you India, Canada. I love you Canadian citizen. Everyone.
Do you only care about issues in India or do you also care about farmers in Canada and issues that affect regular Canadian citizens?
So we care about the Canadian farmers too. We care about all Canadians, no matter whatever their profession are. We stand with them. Yeah, we stand with all Canadians.
So Mr. Singh says that I guess he and other Canadian Sikhs stand up for human rights and justice for everyone, including Canadian farmers, and they will stand up for what is right and what is just. And a person who is facing oppression or injustice, he and other Canadian Sikhs, they will stand up with them.
Every day, this my community, this prayer, every person, Guru Nanak Naam Chaddi Kala Tere Pane Sarbat Da Pala. You translate.
Every day in their prayer, in their ardas, the Sikhs, they say that the whole world, there should be well-being and happiness and human rights and justice for every person. So they say that in the ardas every day. We say that in the ardas every day as Sikhs. That every person in the world, the whole world should be happy, peaceful, human rights and justice should prevail.
In 80s and 90s, so many Sikhs and Hindus were killed in Khalistani movement, including kids. Do you think something similar is going to happen?
Yeah, because right now Punjab is occupied by India, so they can do anything. So they done it in 18 and 90s too. They kill their own people to defame Sikhs, and they can do again too. Yeah, they can do anything in their own territory. I agree that many people killed, but this is on the Indian government hands. Like they should give a justice to people who killed. This is not in Sikhs. We don't have any country. We cannot give them justice. It's the Indian who occupy Punjab. So it's their moral duty to give the justice to the Hindus people who get killed in Punjab.
Sikhs around the world are participating in is peaceful. We are the referendum movement is peaceful. It's according to the UN Charter and international human rights law. It's compliant with that. If the Indian government chooses to impose violence on the Sikh community or torture or just jail people for peacefully expressing their rights under international law, that's on them and you should question them for that.
But why, if it's so peaceful, it's banned in India?
So this is, you can see so India is not a democracy. So they don't like peaceful, protest. They don't like peaceful movements. This is opened in by the Canadian Member Parliament in Canadian Parliament that India is not democracy at all. So Dhaliwal, he's a Member Parliament in Newton area. He openly says in the Canadian Parliament that India is so-called democracy. There's no democracy in India.